Over to you, Em.
Hello, Lorraine.
Bula Emily,
Lorraine.
don't go
So
hard on
nice.
me, yeah?
I thought you'd have a bowl of grog there. Sing it, taki.
No, I'm drinking tea, green tea, trying to be healthy because our hospitals is a place to go and die in. So,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've all heard all the horror stories. I just noticed as well, I just got a message from my brother. Congratulations, Fijiana. They've actually beat Australia in the quarterfinals.
yes.
14-12, and now they're in for the semis and they'll play against New Zealand. So well done, Fiji. Who knows? We've got another gold on the horizon.
We need it.
Yeah. Just coming on to what you were talking about with people that you publish. Would you actually consider, now that Fijiana is coming up in their ranks, would you consider actually interviewing and writing the story of one of their players?
We have written online a few stories about their players, and yes,
Okay.
we will do so when they come back. The hardest part is because obviously of COVID, and the interviews will probably have to be online or via phone. But yes, definitely. But we've already done a few interviews for the Fijian, some of the Fijian players.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we look forward to that. Okay, now we're actually looking at what you do in your downtime. So what sort of things do you do, Lorraine, when you're not working, when you're actually just relaxing, really?
For those of my friends that know me, I am an indoor person. But when COVID happened and people were talking about backyard gardening, I said, okay, let's give it a try. At first, it was a disaster. I grew the garlics wrong side because they said it could not grow. But I see you laughing now. That's negativity. But that's my downtime now. I just love backyard gardening. I think Cheryl has recommended that maybe I should go for counseling because I talk to my plants. I've started to grow cucumbers. I've got bainan. I've got tomatoes, garlic, onions. So that's my downtime. And when I go outside, trust me, I just cut off everything, all the problems of the world. And I plant and I talk to my plants. I get a bit violent with Cheryl's dogs because she lives upstairs and I live downstairs. So my plants, they're my babies, and that's my downtime. Another downtime, which Mom would be so happy about, is baking. Satwand, I'm challenging you to a baking contest, and I'm getting quite good at it. So, you know, the first few were a disaster because I couldn't find the oven. So now I'm domesticated now. So yeah, that's my other downtime, baking. So when we do have our reunion next year here in Fiji, all my schoolmates, I'll treat them to a party.
That's great to hear. And why I laughed, Lorraine, is because I tried with the planting and no, everything I plant dies. I don't even go there anymore. The other thing is, though, here, we've all learned that everybody speaks to their plants. So whoever's telling you to do counseling, they might need counseling themselves. because apparently it does help your plants to thrive. Um, do you have a ritual or lucky charm in your life?
I think most of my schoolmates, like Genevieve and Lorraine, they know I'm not a church person, you know, and I say this with all sincerity, like not every second word is Jesus, you know, believe in Jesus. But today, probably because I'm getting old and getting a bit worried that my path to heaven is not looking too bright. But first thing in the morning, when I get up, I say my rosary, and it helps me seriously on a serious note. And I've found my God now, you know. And I don't know whether it's COVID or it's my age. I never used to go to mass. And but now, yeah, that's where I find my peace in my God. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. And I think Sister Genevieve would actually be nodding her head and very proud of you.
And I really don't want to say something nasty to you. Yeah, she would be happy.
She would. Do you play any musical instruments?
I used to play the guitar, but when I left secondary, I stopped.
Okay. And you haven't picked any instruments up again since, or?
No, not really. I prefer to listen to music.
All right. So what sort of music do you enjoy listening to?
I'm a Bee Gees, Beatles, Eagles, Chicago. I love Commodores, and the new music nowadays, I try to understand, and I'll use the word try to appreciate. And because we have many grog sessions with women where we discuss issues, social issues, I say this with all sincerity, I tolerate Fijian music, but now I'm beginning to get an appreciation of Fijian music. So yeah, there's no music like our era.
Yes, I agree. Are you following the rugby just like everyone else in Fiji at the moment?
Hello, of course. Yes, yes.
So what other sports besides rugby are you interested in though?
Nothing, Emily. I'm from Fiji. We only watch rugby sevens. That's the only thing we win. So yeah.
So that's where the interest is. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned Tiffany Haddish earlier.
Yeah.
And I think quite a number of us actually like watching her and listening to her because apart from being a comedian, she is, like you said, she's come up through the ranks where she's had to work really hard for where she is now. So as a celebrity, what other celebrities that you follow or actors?
A few years ago, I stopped watching TV because while stressed at work, it was the only thing could put me off to sleep. So I would sleep in front of the TV, and as long as the TV was on, I was able to sleep. So a few years ago, I decided I didn't want to watch. And then early this year, because I had so much time on my hands and you know, flour ration and sugar rations are running out in the shops, I decided to to go on YouTube, and some of you are going to laugh. I've got this fascination now, I hope it's temporary, of the royal family in England. I go on YouTube every day. Meghan and Prince Harry, I'm really obsessed with them now. I think the public are quite cruel. Okay, yes, they did the Oprah thing, but I just, it's something to do and something to watch or listen to without you thinking. So it's just stupid, you know, what's going over YouTube about Meghan and Prince Harry. But I'm totally obsessed with them and how the Queen is reacting, and Prince William and Kate. So yeah, that's my passion now. And another funny thing is I love kung fu movies. It's weird. The old kung fu movies where their mouth is not going with the words. And I got this passion, and I'm ashamed. You guys are the first one to know. I got this passion when I was in Vanuatu, working in Vanuatu, because in Vanuatu, there's no theater or entertainment, and all they had was these video shops. And all these video shops had was mostly these kung fu movies. So I look for them. I love kung fu movies, old kung fu movies. So yeah.
I share that with you as well, Lorraine, because that's one of the things that we used to laugh about, was how, you know, you'd have the speaking terms come out, and it was never what they were saying. They always ran behind. So, and I think as we're growing up, that was something that we really all loved watching. Okay, coming back to yourself again, who's the biggest influence in your life?
I don't have any specific person, but it's who I have met in my life journey. My family, I have friends. I also have women that have, let's put it politely, shown negativity towards me. So all these memorable people have influenced me some way or the other. Yeah.
Thank you. So, what are you most proud of then?
I must admit that when you asked that question, I'm actually finding it quite hard to answer. But just lately, with the people that I have interviewed, or the women that I have interviewed, and people that I have met, they were quite fascinated to know that I was an ex-Saint Joseph. And one of the biggest compliments was, I knew you were an ex-Saint Joseph because of your attitude, because of the way you speak, and because of how open-minded you were. So I'm actually very, very proud to be an ex-Saint Joseph. So, you know, like when we were 50 years of independence, and women were given these medals from government, and as soon as I would see a woman like Jenny Sito getting her 50th, she's an ex-Saint Joseph, you know. I would emphasize that, you know, and it makes me so proud to see how our ex-St. Joseph students are doing, have done, and are going to be doing. So, yeah.
Oh, I think we can all relate to that as well. I think we're all very proud to to actually be an ex-St. Joseph student, to be part of the alumni. Um, with what we've heard today, Lorraine, you keep yourself busy throughout the years, and you've taken different career paths as well. So, especially with the times that's happening now with this pandemic, how do you stay mentally and spiritually aligned?
I'm not going to lie. I, it and I'm trying not to be emotional here, but it I sometimes I wake up, I take each day as it comes, and sometimes I wake up, I know it's going to be a good day. Then you listen to the radio and you hear there's over 1,000 positive cases, and then you hear women giving birth, having cesareans and dying, you know. Fiji is, you know, and you see photos or you go past hospitals in makeshift tents outside in the car park. Sometimes I don't know how to pray. And every time I go on Facebook or my phone rings, I am really quite scared to pick it up, because literally on a daily basis, my friend's husband or daughter or parent has died. I try to take each day as it comes. And the rosary that I say every morning helps. But what really gets to me is the sound of the sirens of ambulance, which is in a day, it can be 6 to 10, you know, going past my place. And it's actually quite overwhelming. The amount of phone calls we have for requests of food, medicine, and things like that. So I'm overwhelmed, but I try and take each day as it comes.
Thank you, Lorraine. It must be really, really difficult in Fiji at the moment. And coming through all of this with the experiences that you have under your belt, thinking back to a younger you, what would be your advice to your younger you at this stage?
Don't do what I did before when I was young. But I think if my life was given back to me again, I would probably do the same thing. My life journey, I'm actually thinking of writing an autobiography of myself. I think it would be a good seller. It would be difficult to give advice to me, because time has evolved, modern technology, the young people have more access to information, whether it's good or bad. But I would probably say, before you do something or make a decision, you need to think of the consequences that come with it. For me, I didn't, you know. You know, religion, my faith wasn't even part of my life. I mean, I was an accountant. I made heaps of money. I traveled, you know. I knew important people. I got good money. And, you know, went out and then I look back today, I wouldn't be so quick to go to Sunyadama and drink there until 5 in the morning. I would think before I make decisions and what the consequences will be. Yeah.
Thank you, Lorraine. We do live and learn, though. Thank you for telling us a little bit about yourself. I think now we're opening it out to everyone for questions, and I hand you back to Angie at this stage. Thank you so much. And I can tell you one thing: if I'm coming down for that reunion next year, I'm going to crash your year group for a piece of that cheesecake.
Oh,
I
okay.
hope you make a few.
I'm
You
coming.
more than
Thank you. Over to you, Ange.
Lorraine, thank you so much for your time tonight. Really, really appreciate you coming on and sharing your life's journey with us. There was a lot of information for us to process. We truly do celebrate you for everything that you've done, and having a magazine in the later years in your life. That is one big move, and good on you. Really, really think that's fantastic, and we wish you onwards and upwards with the magazine, so that people can jump off their mics. We will take a photo if that's okay, because our webmistress would like a photo. Are you listening, Miss Jude? Tonight. And thanks again to Lorraine. I know Fiji with the with everything that's happening, and your internet provider and all those hiccups that could possibly happen didn't happen, thank God. So this is any questions for Lorraine? Anybody interested in questions we didn't cover tonight with Lorraine? Other than the fact of, did you ever get kicked off any of your flights?
Okay, I'm trying to portray a picture of Lorraine being this lovely person, so, and not naughty. So yeah, I think I won't answer that question.
All right, pass. Okay. Is there
So can I just ask Lorraine a question? When you lived in Vanuatu for that time, where did you stay in Villa?
I actually stayed at the USP campus, the staff quarters.
Oh dear, that's
Because
up the hill.
Yeah, I had to go and look after the account section there and implement a few software. So yeah, I lived on campus.
And which year was that, may I ask? What year was that?
USP, I was there about 10 years ago.
Okay.
10 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
I lived there, I think, for almost a year, and I loved it. Yeah.
Because I lived there for 3 years and we lived across the USP, but then that was way before you had come to Villa. Fantastic place.
Oh.
A few questions coming up, Lorraine. We have Jude. Lorraine, do you have a favorite rugby sevens player?
There will only be one favorite sevens player, and that is Serevi. No one will ever be like him. So he's my favorite sevens player. And Lorraine, my namesake, I still got the photo of us taken with him outside bowling club.
Any more questions?
I'll provide some input. Lorraine, we don't know each other, I'm Karen, but I've really enjoyed listening to you this evening as our inaugural person on this events program. And thank you so much for your time and the depth of knowledge and information that you shared with us. It's been terrific. Yeah, so on behalf of all of us, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I second that.
This is Sapan. If I can get a minute to say something. Yeah, so
Yes,
I've been trying to persuade Jen to say something for us, because she's the one who leads our groups now for the class of 78. But Jen is chickening out, so so I just want to say that the class of 78 is very proud of you, Lorraine. Maybe the reason Sister Genevieve couldn't choose the head girl was because there were so many that she couldn't decide which one to pick. And that's probably the reason, because if you look at all the women in that class, everyone was the leader. Whether we led the right way or the wayward way or whatever way, but we were all leaders and we were all team players. And I think that's why that was one of the strengths of our class. But apart from that, we are very grateful that you've raised the women, the voice of women, not only in Fiji, but we hear about that everywhere else. And it's so important as we are more strengthening in our voices across the world. It's good to hear that even in a country like Fiji, the awareness that everybody is important and their voices should be heard is coming through. And that's very exciting. Keep doing the great work. Very proud of you and hoping to see you soon so we can have our bake-off competition. Not really. I just want to enjoy the great food. But wish you all the best in your future journeys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. Thank you, girls, for your input. And Lorraine, your classmates, they've said it all, and we'll finish off our night with some cameo pictures of this very successful and independent lady that is proud to call herself an ex-St. Joseph's girl. We're very proud of you, and again, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. Emily, I'm going to smack you the next time I see you because you didn't tell me this was the first, what's the name? Because when you first asked me, I had said no. So Emily, you're not getting your curry crab or your cheesesteak.
Like I said, I'm just going to crash. And I knew you would say no. That's why I didn't tell you that. But you know what, Lorraine, thank you for sharing with us tonight. It's just really, you told us so much about yourself. We're very, very proud of you. And thank you again for sharing.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Lorraine.
Great night. Thank you.
Really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, girls, for sharing. And I think there's going to be one more slide. Did we have that, Kathy? One more slide.
It's just the end bit.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
if there's anybody, anyone has anyone inspirational or someone who'd like to share their life, get in touch with us and just get on the webpage or check us out on Facebook. Send us a direct message. We'd love to have someone join us for the next session.
Thanks, Angie, as well. It was a wonderful evening. And Lorraine, thanks very much. From one of the pioneers of the alumni. I'm actually the oldest one in our group from Sydney. So on behalf of all of those around the world, and we're actually copying this, aren't we? That those particularly North America, who weren't able to join us because it started at 2 a.m. there, and they were a little bit reluctant to get up at that time of the morning. I don't know why, but it was wonderful, very entertaining, very informative, and very inspirational. So thanks a lot, and Ange, wonderful, and thanks Emily and Ros for your introduction.
Good team we have in Sydney. Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, all. And
Good night.
More
night.
The Olympics now.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Ange. Night, everyone.
All right.
Manaka, move.
Yeah.
Bye.
Move.
And